Hi BookTube, welcome to Jackie's Literary Corner. I am Jackie, and I'm going to do a little bit of a book haul. I was going to do a book haul and my November TBR, but I'm going to redo that because I want to do a better job. So that might be, again, another late. Might be a little late going up. I don't know if I'm going to get to it tonight or tomorrow. I might try this evening when it's less sunny. But anyway, I'm just going to right now talk about what I borrowed from the library and the books I bought today and on Halloween Day. So, okay, so first, I ended up getting, so I went to the library this morning because I needed to, I wanted to go ahead and, return the books and get new ones. So, and just get that done and over with. The book, and I ended up returning, the only one I finished was So This Is Love, which I did, do a review on. I liked it better than Conceal Don't Feel. And I had a good time with it. It was fun. I probably was maybe I gave it 4 stars, so that might have been being a little nice, because I actually had the same complaints as another booktuber whose name I can never remember her channel name. We had similar complaints, and she gave it less stars than I did. And it made me think, and I started thinking, well, maybe I'm being a little generous. But I think partly why I decided to give it 4 stars was because I liked it a little bit more than Conceal Don't Feel. And of course, everyone's opinions are different, so that was the only one I finished. And the other 2, the Thomas Wolfe book, I read like the first chapter and I realized, okay, I'm not feeling this. And also, it was one of these, it was the You Can't Go Home Again, that's the title of the book. And I decided, you know what, I have Thomas Wolfe's other Look Homeward Angel. So I figured, let me just read that first. And then maybe one day I will, if I like that one, then I'll get to his other work, some of his other books. I think it was just one of these where I was, I got excited in that moment to find another Thomas Wolfe book, one that I was familiar with the name, at least the title anyway. So, and then the other one that I read that I got a little bit farther, and I at least got to chapter 44, and that is Stephen Schabowski's Imaginary Friend. I really enjoyed that one. I wanted to keep going, but it's a 700 plus page book, and I was feeling a little anxious, so I was like, you know what, maybe one day I'll buy this one. I do want to continue with it, so I'll buy this one at some point. Of course, which means I probably will have to reread it anyway to remember what happens when I buy it. But I did see if I could find it at the roast office when I went to the roast office after I went to the library. But I did not have any luck, and I know it's at Books A Million, so maybe one day I'll buy it at Books A Million. But anyway, so the books I got from the library, the 3 I checked out in place of those are, first I got a Nikki French book from the Frida Klein series, Friday on My Mind, and I think there's a mystery for each day of the week. So I believe that there's 7 books in the whole series because there's 7 days. This is the Friday one. I know that Jen Campbell is a big Frida Klein fan, and and then Lauren from Lauren the Books is a fan as well. And this is a husband and wife team writing these books. So I saw this and I remembered that Jen Campbell's a big fan, so I thought I would try it. Okay, so I'm going to read the back description. A bloated corpse turns up and lit up in the Thames. Throat slashed, and the only clue is a hospital wristband reading Dr. F. Klein. Frida is taken to see the body and realizes with horror that it is Sandy, her ex-boyfriend. She's certain the killer is Dean Reeve, the man who has never stopped haunting her. But the police think he has been dead for years, and Frida is their number 1 suspect. With few options, Frida goes on the run to save herself and try to uncover the truth. So it sounded really cool. So that sounds really interesting. I don't know if the library has any for other books, but if I like it, maybe I'll continue trying to look for her other books as well. But so that's that one. And then I also got The Glass Hotel, which I didn't realize I forgot was a mystery. It's the second. It's Emily St. John Mandel's second novel, so her sophomore novel. She wrote Station 11, which I really enjoyed. This takes place at a hotel. Okay, so I'm gonna read the description. Vincent is a bartender at the Hotel Cayette, a 5-star hotel in northernmost tip of Vancouver Island. On the night she meets Jonathan Alcatis, a hooded figure scrawls a message on the lobby's glass wall. Why don't you swallow broken glass? Leon Prevant, a shipping executive for Neptune Avarandus, reads the words and orders a drink to calm down. Alcatis, the owner of the hotel and a wealthy investment manager, arrives too late to read the threat, never knowing it was intended for him. He leaves Vincent a $100 tip along with his business card, and a year later, they are living together as husband and wife. High above Manhattan, a greater crime is committed. Alcatis is running an international Ponzi scheme, moving imaginary sums of money through clients' accounts. He holds the savings of an artist named Olivia Collins, the fortune of a Saudi prince and his extended family, and countless retirement funds, including Leon Prevance. The collapse of a financial empire is as swift as it is devastating, obliterating fortunes and lives, while Vincent walks away into the night. Until years later, she steps aboard a Neptune Avarandus vessel, the Neptune Cumberland, and disappears from the ship between ports of call. In this captivating story of crisis and survival, Emily St. John Mandel takes readers through often hidden landscapes, campgrounds for the near-homeless, underground electronia clubs, the business of international shipping, service in luxury hotels, and life in a federal prison. Rife with unexpected beauty, The Glass Hotel is a captivating portrait of greed and guilt, love and delusion, ghost and unintended consequences, and the infinite ways we search for meaning in our lives. There's that one. And then we have this one. This one I keep debating about buying at Books A Million, but I also, keep reasoning that I'll wait until it comes out in paperback, so I decided to I spotted it at the library. I was very happy about that. The Witch's Heart. This is about Loki's wife and the mother of his 3 children. So it's based on Norse myth. And so she's punished by Odin, and her punishment leaves her wounded and broken and powerless, and she ends up meeting Loki in this remote forest, and falls in love with him, and they have 3 kids, which, if you watch the channel, I don't know if this is his actual channel, John Solo, he talks a lot about not just fairy tales and their origins, but he also talks about mythology, like Greek mythology, Norse mythology, and he did some episodes on Loki and on which includes his 3 children as well, and the whole explaining them and everything. And this is a debut. This is the author's debut, so yeah, I thought go ahead and try it, and go ahead and just get it from the library because I saw it. So. Okay, so those are the 3 library books. Now on to the books I bought. Okay, so first we're gonna talk about the 2 I got from the dollar store. Which, by the way, I ended up putting the Cha Cha Dracula book in the donation pile. I've changed my mind about it, which I know is weird because I haven't actually picked it up and read it. I do look at reviews on Goodreads and actually read through the reviews. And it's also a third book in a series. I don't know if it's if you have to read the other 2 books to be able to get into the story. And I've just lost interest. I mean, I'm sure it's fun. Maybe I would like it, but I'm kind of not in the mood to read anymore. So, and it was only $1, so it's okay. So these 2 I also got from the dollar store. So first, this is the Spawn of Lilith. This one kind of reminds me, not just because of the blurb she left, but it kind of reminds me of the Suki Stackhouse series, where like all the monsters and stuff, they're just part of the real world, and particularly the Hollywood scene, because and the character on the cover, Lee Striga, she is a stunt woman. She's trying to make it as an actress in Hollywood, and she ends up getting a job on a movie, and she ends up that movie happens to be having someone going off the script and killing people. And when she somehow gets the lead role, it turns out that she's the next target because of that. So, it's a little too late for me to read it, but I feel like I might read it soon, because that way, if I end up not liking it, I can put in the donation pile. Because I don't want some of these or the other books I got from the dollar store to be other books I don't even attempt to read and end up changing my mind about. So, okay, the next one is a collection, an anthology of stories, haunting tales from the masters of the genre, phantoms. And Stephen King's own son, Joe Hill, has a story in this collection. So the names I recognize are Kelly Armstrong, Joe Hill, obviously, Josh Mallerman, and Paul Tremblay. Those are the only ones I recognize. The rest of them I don't know. A.K. Benedict, and Mark Carey, John Connolly, Gemma Files, Helen Grant, Muriel Gray, Lisa Joe Hill, Mark A. Latham, Tim Leben, Alison Littlewood, Josh Mallerman, George Mann, Laura Purcell, Robert Sheeman, Paul Tremblay, and Katronia Ward. I think it is. There's a little price sticker right there. I can't see it, but I think it's Katronia Ward. I think. But it's a collection of short stories, so it shouldn't be as hard to read. But and this is not what I'm thinking about reading. So I got those in the dollar store, so they were only $1. And I know with the dollar store, it's kind of tricky when you get books from the dollar store, because you don't know if they're gonna be good or not. Because a lot of times books that are given to the dollar store are books that didn't sell well, or like maybe people got rid of them and it's like they have nowhere else to go. But now I don't know if people donate their books to the dollar store or not. Because maybe they do. Maybe the dollar store. I mean, I feel like the dollar store is like getting books at the thrift store. They might have them. They might be good. They might not. It's a risk you're taking. So, but they sound interesting. I mean, of course, the Dracula books sound interesting too. But then I lost interest. So, I need to make sure I pick up those two, not lose interest. Okay, so next. Okay, so the 2 books I got from Books A Million on Halloween Day, those I got on the 30th. Those $2 store books, because we were going up there to get something for my dad, and get some cheap bags or something that were a little more secure than plastic bags. So we picked them up. My mom was just like she heard me mumbling and decided debating about getting them, and like I don't know, I might want to get them, I might not. And she was like, just get them, just go ahead and get them before I go up to the thing. So I went ahead and grabbed them. So I was like, it was only $1, so it was like not a huge deal. The same thing with the Dracula one. So now these are more expensive. So I had heard Murphy Napier did a recommendation video of horror books that she liked. So, or it might have been ghost stories, I don't know. But anyway, in one of these books, I had a book with the same title, but it's a different genre. It was a historical fiction story by Barbara Erskine, and it was the same title, and I was at first like, oh, I think I have that one, then I looked it up on Goodreads, like, oh, don't have it. And that is The Ghostery by Christina Henry. And she is the best-selling author of The Girl in Red and Alice. Okay, so let me read the back description. When the bodies of 2 girls are found torn apart in the town of Smith's Hollow, Lauren is surprised, but she also expects that the police won't catch the killer. After all, her father's body was discovered the year before with his heart missing. And since then, everyone has moved on. Even her best friend Miranda has become more interested in boys and in spending time at the old ghost tree, the way they used to when they were kids. So when Lauren has a vision of a monster dragging the remains of the girls to the woods, she knows she needs to do something to help, unlike the rest of Smith's Hollow. But as she draws closer to answers, she realizes that the foundation of her seemingly normal town might be rotten, and if nobody else stands for the missing, she will. So that sounded really cool, and I'm glad I found it. It was really, like, originally I was thinking about going there too. I mean, they were a possibility, but I was also going there thinking, oh, maybe I'll find, because I'm going to give Anne Rice another shot, because I read her Witching Hour when I had a mass market copy of The Witching Hour. And I was watching Jennifer Brooks do her video where she talked about Anne Rice's vampire books. She had reread the Interview with the Vampire. And it got me thinking about how, I did enjoy Anne Rice's writing style. I wasn't comfortable with The Witching Hour, but I want to give it another shot. The thing is, I don't want to get a mass market copy. I want to get a nicer copy that is like this size, this tall. Of course, it'll be bigger, so it'll be more like this. Maybe even bigger than that. So, I did put on my thrift books wish list. I don't want to put it on Amazon yet. Because, I don't know if I want to get an expensive, I don't know how cheap it would be to get the size I want. Because mass market is pretty cheap, but I do not want mass market. So, now I know I mentioned it to Terry, and maybe, and if she remembered, she would probably, if she could get it for me, but, for, Christmas or something, then, by then she might, by Christmas, by, December, she might not remember anyway, so, because it's also, I do like the story, I don't know, really, I may as well just, I probably would enjoy it, I just don't want to, I don't know if I want to spend the money, I want to get a cheaper version that's still nice, still decent, but it's not, again, not a mass market. I want to get a regular size book, and they didn't have it at BAM, but it was the mass market one. I don't want the mass market one. That's the one I already had and I got rid of, so I want to get a regular size. Unfortunately, most regular size copies of her books were the vampire ones. I like vampires, but not that much. I want to move on. I want the Witching Hour book, the Mayfair Witches book. So, I put it on the Amazon wish list. Of course, who knows, it might be gone by now. The one I want. So, and I was weary about asking my mom if I could place an order because I had just bought some books, and, she's still, and I know she would be like, you just bought books, you don't need to buy any more books, and yeah, I am an adult, but, it's still like I said before, she's trying to teach me how to learn how to be more cautious with my money. So, and, so I still feel like, I have to make sure she's okay with my spending. So, which I know, I'm in a weird situation. But anyway, okay, so, I ended up, but I saw these. Surprise, I was happy that I saw this one in, I didn't see that one, but I did see this one, and then the other one, which is also, from Murphy Napier, and that is, The Haunting of Ashburn House, a haunted house story by Darcy Coates. Okay, so I'm going to read the description of this one again. Everyone knows about Ashburn House, with the whisper that its old owner went mad and restless ghosts still walk the halls. But when Adrian, desperate and in need of a place to stay, inherits the crumbling old mansion, she only sees it as a lifeline until darkness falls. Strange messages are etched into the walls. Furniture moves when she leaves the room, and a grave hidden in the depths of the forest hints at a terrible and unforgivable secret. Something twisted lives in her house, its hungry eyes ever watchful, chasing the threads of a decades-old mystery. It isn't long before she realizes that she's become prey to something deeply unnatural and intensely resentful. She has no idea how to escape. She has no idea how to survive. Only one thing is certain. Ashburn's dead are not at rest. So she also has The Haunting of Blackwood House, The House Next Door, Craven Manor, The Haunting of Rockwood House, Rockward House, The Carrow Hunted, Fallcroft Ghost, The Haunting of Gillespie House, Dead Lake, Parasite, Quarter to Midnight, Small Horrors. House of Shadows series is, or duology, I guess it is. House of Shadows, House of Shadows is the title, is the first one, and then House of Secrets. So I don't know if that's going to be a series or if that's a duology. So she writes about haunted houses a lot, apparently. So, the first part, when she talks about Adrian desperate and in need of a place to stay, kind of reminds me of Ruth Ware's, what's the one with the woman, she gets some inheritance from a woman who claims to be her grandmother, and they got the wrong name, but because she was so desperate for money, and she pretends to be the granddaughter. That aspect of the plot kind of made me think of that book. I cannot remember what that book's called. So yeah, I got those two. And then last but not least, the last 4 books I got were the ones I got at the Rust Office today, November 2nd. Okay, so first, I got me another Edith Wharton book, Twilight Sleep, and this is her take on the Jazz Age. And apparently, this was out of print for a long time. I don't know, let me look at the publication date of this particular one. Sorry, I'm looking at a list of their other works. Look at the copyright date. Okay, when did this? Okay, so the original copyright date was 1927, and then this copyright date was, this Scribner paperback edition was in 1997. So, this came out in 1990, was reprinted in 1997. So I really like Edith Wharton's writing style, and I'm slowly collecting her books, although I need to finally read another one for books. So for November, I might read, her, Old New York books, which is 3 stories in one, a collection of three novellas. So I might read that one next. But yeah, so I was very excited to see this because it was another Edith Wharton book and it wasn't mass market. Okay, so there's that. And then I got this one, Marco Polo The Travels. Which the saleswoman thought it might have been nonfiction at first until, like, she asked me where I got it, and I had to point out, no way I actually got it in the classic shelf, because nonfiction are, I think, a different price. Or more expensive. So this is, I think, all about Marco Polo's voyages. But yeah, all I know about Marco Polo is he thought he came to what was America, and it turns out it wasn't. I think that's what it was. I think he thought it was either that or he thought of something else and it became America. I don't remember. But I decided to go ahead and check it out. Now this could be considered nonfiction. Like I said, the sales lady thought it was, but I didn't get it in the vault where all their nonfiction is kept. But I got it in the classic shelf. So I feel like this is something that Jennifer Brooks would know about because she's one of her favorite. Other than the Vikings, she loves history of Italy, I think. So. Italian Renaissance. That's one of her favorite historical topics. So, yeah, I think I could read it for this month. Nonfiction November if I wanted to, but I already have, like, quite a few nonfictions I'm considering. But, yeah, so there's that one. And, so I'm excited to read it. Oh, excuse me. Part of the problem last time when I filmed this is I could feel the tiredness, and so I felt like I was sluggish and slogging when I was doing this video. So obviously you can tell by that yawn, I'm still tired, and I haven't drinking coffee or anything. So I'm not. And it's too late now because it will keep me up, and I want to be able to go to sleep tonight. So next is So I've read Middlemarch, and I've read Silas Marner. So she's another author that I'm getting more of her books, so I spotted this one. This was her debut novel, which is Scenes of a Clerical Life. So it's about the life of a clergyman. And she got acclaim from Charles Dickens himself. So yeah, basically about clergymen in their day-to-day lives. So, I was excited to see this, and I'm glad it was these Penguin Classics editions. I like it when I get books with some of the editions I've collected over the years, like the Penguin Classics or Barnes & Noble Classics collection, or I've been slowly accumulating these as well, the Oxford World Classics collection. So, this is St. Augustine Confessions, which I don't think maybe this is also considered nonfiction, or maybe it's a fiction. I don't know, but it's a translated work. And it's St. Augustine's life. Where he's struggling with wrestling with trying to master sexual drive, his aware ascent from humble Algerian farm to the edge of the courtiers of high power at the imperial court of Milan, and his renunciation of secular ambition and marriage as he recovered the faith that his mother had taught him. It was in Milan garden that Augustine finally achieved the active will to Christian conversion, which he compared to a lazy man in bed finally deciding it's time to get up and face the day. So this is, I guess, Italian literature. So, which, by the way, I blame Jennifer Brooks for getting me more into this kind of, trying out this kind of stuff. It's because of her that I'm definitely trying to explore more literature from other countries. So that is it. I don't know what I'm doing about my TBR or not. I don't know if I'll be able to film it. I might be able to film it tonight. We'll see what happens. It's still light out. And it's 5:11. I don't know what we're gonna eat, although I kinda ate a late lunch and I ate tomato soup with grilled cheese, so I'm not super hungry right now, so I don't know what's gonna happen. But I'm gonna try to come up with a TBR, because what I wanted originally intended was to kind of look at my library and see which books I needed to get to. Because I think what I would like to do from now on is try to instead of like planning ahead, letting myself plan ahead. I think part of my problem is that I plan too far ahead. I think too much about. I mean, it doesn't help that whenever I watch these booktube videos, it's me, of course. I'm not blaming anyone. I mean, even though I jokingly say I blame booktube, it's more me than booktube. I don't have to necessarily, just because they talk about it, doesn't mean I have to be like, oh, I have to read that one right now. Or that oh, you guys are making me feel bad. Because I can't, every time I watch, like, Reagan from Paris Projects, or, or whoever, I can't get all mad just because they talk about reading Way of Kings, or like, in the next book in that series, just because I'm behind on that. It's not their fault. It's just and it's long books. I'm not intimidated. I have no problem with longer books. It's just they take me more time to read. And sometimes, I don't know, I can't always commit to them, And it's not because I'm like, oh God, how many more pages? It's just more like, I'm all of a sudden distracted by a shiny new book that I just bought. So, anyway, so I need to, so I will film the TBR possibly tonight, and you will probably see it up tomorrow, or, I might upload it tonight. Like I said, I don't want to be, like, up really late waiting for it to upload, so I might wait to upload it tomorrow when I get home from work. So you might not see it until it might not be up until the 3rd of November, so it'll be kind of late. But obviously, I'm gonna use the library's books are gonna be part of the TBR. So anyway, if you guys like this video, be sure to give a thumbs up, click subscribe if you haven't already, click the bell notification below if you want to be notified when I post new videos. I hope you are staying safe and healthy and enjoying your reading, and I will talk to you guys later. Alright, bye!